Now, I want to start off by saying this video is not anything against the National Park System's employees, like all their workers and stuff like that. A lot of them are diehards. They love their jobs, whole 9 yards. I have nothing at all against any of them. Almost every single one of them that I've ever met in my entire life has been really cool with us. I mean, really, really cool. So it's the people that's making these rules that are trying to get these rules enforced. Those are the ones that I just can't seem to understand. But as far as the workers go, NPS workers, NPS employees, y'all are awesome. Hey everybody, Shu here. It's been recently brought to my attention that a fellow YouTuber, Max, over at Hike Camp, let me know, let a lot of people know about the National Park Service issuing fines to YouTubers for recording videos and posting them on their channels. Well, we're going to look into this NPS thing here. Now, there's going to be a lot of information here, so I'm going to put little timestamps down below the video here. Most important thing is probably going to be the final thoughts near the end. But majority long part of the video is going to be the list of the places that are covered as far as the units are concerned. So, all right, so far, most of the people that are worried about these fines are people like in the YouTube communities that has made these videos like a long time ago and posted them like on their YouTube channel. Now, yeah, that's a problem apparently now with the National Park Service. Okay, but National Park System, NPS. But there's a lot bigger issues here, okay, than YouTubers, just YouTubers getting fined. And it's not being addressed on their websites, and I haven't seen too much of it anywhere so far. So we're going to go over some of that today. All right, real quick, some of the National Park System's laws. We're just going to go over like 5 or 6 of them real quick. They're all going to connect. They're all going to make sense. And you're going to be like, whoa, wow. First question that's asked on their website, which I will put all the links down below so you can check them out yourself. The first question is, when is a permit required for commercial filming? Their answer, under federal law, all commercial filming that occurs within a unit of the National Park System requires a permit. Now, if you notice, they didn't say national park. They didn't say national park locations. They said units. The unit of National Park Systems require a permit. That's going to turn around and be very difficult. I'll put a word. It's going to be very interesting. All right, the next question that was asked is, what is considered commercial filming? This is where a lot of YouTubers are getting involved. YouTubers, TikTok, Instagram, basically everybody out there. So their answer is, commercial filming means the film, electronic, magnetic, digital, or other recordings of a moving image by a person, business, or other entity for a market audience with the intent of generating income. Alright, so basically they're saying if you record a video on one of their units and you post it somewhere like YouTube, you're doing it to make money. So if your videos are monetized, they're considering that as commercial filming. But it becomes even more weirder here pretty soon. Next question. Does commercial filming by individuals or small groups require a permit? Now, small groups or individuals would be, well, individuals, 1, maybe 2. Small groups, 5, 6, 7, stuff like that. That's what I would figure. But according to them, Federal law requires a permit for all commercial filming, no matter the size of the crew or type of equipment. This includes individuals or small groups that don't use much equipment, like most of us, but generate revenue by posting footage on websites such as YouTube and TikTok. So they're already pointing out YouTubers and TikTok for some reason. Not they didn't put it social media sites. They put it as YouTube and TikTok. The primary focus of the NPS, however, you gotta hate that word however, because yeah, is on a commercial filming that has the potential to impact park resources and visitors beyond what occurs from from normal visitor use of park areas. Examples of this type of filming are productions that use substantial equipment such as sets and lighting, productions with crews that exceed 5 people, and filming in areas closed areas, wilderness areas, or in locations that would create conflicts with other visitors or harm sensitive resources. Alright, so what they just said there is they don't care if you're an individual or if you're using one camera. Then they're saying that they're more worried about the larger groups with big cameras and all kinds of stuff. So, however, yeah. On to the next question. Does non-commercial filming require a permit? Now, they have more on there. I just got the bottom part of it. In most cases, a permit is not necessary for visitors filming for personal enjoyment. That's totally kind of understandable. I mean, if you're filming something for yourself, you just want to record something and put it on your computer, and only you will ever see it, or your family will only see it on your computer, then yeah, you don't need a permit apparently. When is a commercial permit required for still photography? This is the funny one. This is when everything starts changing too. Their answer is, in most cases, still photography does not require a permit. In most cases, okay. A permit is required for still photography only when the activity takes place at locations where or when members of the public are generally not allowed. The activity uses models, sets, or props that are not part of the location's natural or cultural resources or administrative facilities, or the National Park Service would incur additional administrative costs to monitor the activity. I mean, now, that sounds kind of legit. I mean, like the way it should be. But it should be the same with videoing, because my camera can take 40 shots a second, 50 shots a second. Those are photos, but video is 60 shots per second. So 10 less is the difference between permit and no permit so far. So the big question is, what fees will I have to pay for a permit? Their answer, this gets funnier every second we're moving along. You'll see why in a few minutes. Their answer is, federal law requires the National Park Service to recover its administrative costs for commercial filming and still photography. So now they're charging for photography. Activities that require a permit, cost recovery includes application fees and any additional charges to cover the costs incurred by the National Park Service in processing your request and monitoring the permitted activities. This amount will vary on the park and the size and the complexity of the permitted activities. The application fee must be submitted with your application. In addition, federal law also requires the National Park Service to collect a location fee that provides a fair return to the United States for the use of parklands for commercial filming and for still photography. Requires a permit. The National Park Service uses the following fee schedules for filming and photography. Now, if you're commercial filming, it's 1 to 2 people, a camera and tripod. Only it's $0 a day, which is really weird because if you have 1 to 10 people, instead of going 3 to 10, they're going 1 to 10. It's 150. 11 to 30, 250. 31 to 49, $500 a day. Over $50 or over 50 people is $750 a day. Now, if I was somebody like, I don't know, a famous like movie producer, Spielberg, $750 a day, that's nothing. Hell, I mean, heck, that pays for coffee. But moving along here, for still photography, 1 to 10 people is going to be $50 a day. 11 to 30 people, $150. Over 30 people, $250 a day. Permits issued for non-commercial filming may be subject to cost recovery charges, including an application fee, but a separate location fee will not be charged. Okay, now that that's all the way and you're caught up with what they say the law is, the permit itself, the permit number is NPS 10-931. That's for the short form. And it is very easy to fill out, plain and simple. Now let's look a little deeper into this and how it affects not only YouTubers and TikTok people, as they put, but can and will affect every single person that's ever went to a unit, as they call it, of the National Park Service. So basically, almost anybody that's ever went to any of their locations. It's going to affect everybody. Now, some of the issues here. On the first question, like when is a permit required for commercial filming? If you notice, they didn't say in a national park. They said unit of the national park system. Well, did you know that the Appalachian Trail is a unit of the national park system? That's 1 unit. The Appalachian Trail is a 2,180 plus mile long public footpath that traverses 14 states. 14. Imagine all the people that hike that one trail and record it. Now, this is very important to remember that. All right, the second question. What's considered commercial filming? They say it's filming something for a market audience with the intent of generating income. All right, so almost, I say almost, any video you've ever recorded from a unit of the NPS is subjected under this. There's no way of getting around that. Oh, your channel's not monetized? If you've emailed a video clip to your family, you still fall under this. And I'll explain that in a few minutes here. Now, on the third question, about like the size and all that, can someone say backpedaling and so misleading all in the same paragraph? First, they say, no matter the size of the crew or the type of equipment. This includes individuals or small groups that don't use much equipment, like a lot of us, but generate revenue by posting footage on websites such as YouTube and TikTok. But then they turn around and they say, however, That's a big word here. However, now they're looking for big fish to fry by saying examples of this type of filming are productions that use substantial equipment such as sets, lighting, productions with crews exceeding 5 people, and filming in closed areas, wilderness areas, or in locations that would create conflicts with other visitors or harm sensitive resources. Just doesn't sound right. On the fourth one, non-commercial filming require a permit? Their reply, in most cases, a permit is not necessary for visitors filming for personal enjoyment. Oh boy, don't believe that. Anything that starts with "in most cases," because then you don't know before you start filming. On the fifth one, the whole commercial permit required for still photography question. Apparently, it's only required if you bring too much equipment, go somewhere the public ain't supposed to go, and requires the NPS personnel to babysit you, basically. So I guess they don't watch people normally, like normal visitors that take pictures, that record videos. So basically, from what I'm getting from this is, you can go to any of the units of the NPS and take all the photos you want for commercial purposes and don't need a permit. That's what it sounds like to me. As long as you follow those 3 basic rules that they lay out. Now on the 6th one, the fees for the permit section are kind of misleading if you don't read it correctly. I mean, they do put it right there in front of you, but a lot of people are misreading this. They're thinking that, oh, it ain't very much. Okay. The number of people and the cost are not for the permit. So the one, maybe 2 people with the tripod for $0, that's not for the permit. That's the location fee. Just for them being there. Just for that unit being there. And that's it. That's all. That's what that fee's for. The non-refundable application fee can range from $50 to $200. Again, remember, that's non-refundable. If you fill out the form, send it to them with the non-refundable check or your credit card info. They will decide if it's approved. Then they will send it back to you to sign the final signature on your side. Then you will send it back to them so the park superintendent can decide if they want to approve it. And like I said, I'm going to put the links to these. I'm going to put the links to these 2 different forms here. And you'll notice that one of them is for, like, I think $50. The other one's for $200. That's a day. That's the non-refundable part. Okay. If you survive this far, then it gets worse. Then it can possibly get better, depending on how you look at it. So, on the Appalachian Trail, if you go to their website, there's nothing about where to obtain a permit. So you'd have to contact the NPS to get a permit to hike the Appalachian Trail. Now remember, this thing's long. Very long. And it goes through multiple units. And if you get a permit if they actually issue a permit for the Appalachian Trail, remember that's the Appalachian Trail. It goes through multiple units that the NPS owns. So if you're going to record on the Appalachian Trail, just don't aim your camera to the left or to the right as you're going through the other units, because you don't have permits for those units now. So to film off the trail through the other units, you have to get permits for every single unit. I can't imagine how much that would cost if you're going to hike the whole trail, try to record it. The part where I said, oh, your channel's not monetized? according to different lawyers, that doesn't protect you because YouTube monetizes every video. There's an advertisement on every video or on the side of the posts, like the post on the side of your videos, whatever. Even if your channel or that video is not monetized, YouTube is still making money, and that's the way the NPS looks at it. It's still money is still being made, and that goes for TikTok, Instagram, all the other social media platforms, because they're all making money too by us posting stuff on them. So you don't have to be making a penny, but yet you can get cited for thousands and thousands of pennies. And that's where it can become scary for all the people that have ever taken a video clip on a unit of the NPS, because by following their laws that they have in place. So have you ever shot a video clip like with your phone? Let me see. Grab your phone, shoot a video clip. You email that to your parents. Let's say you email it to your grandparents. All of a sudden, they open it up. They're like, oh, wow, there's little Susie at Grand Canyon. Whatever. Well, you just broke a federal law, too. Because AOL, MSN, Yahoo, Hotmail, all of them, they all have advertisements on their emails. If you look at your emails, like when you're composing them on the right hand side, there's always like little ads, stuff like that flashing through. They're making money. So basically, you've uploaded a video and you're posting it in an email and using a company that makes money from your usage, even though you're not making a penny. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Now, some of the most smartest people that I don't know always try to say that Big Brother is watching your phone, your computer, your emails, your banking. Well, guess what? Big Brother, you might want to move over, because I think the NPS is going to want to try to get in on some of that action soon. The misleading answer with the whole however is most likely their way of having a universal tool. So if their unit that the bigger commercial, like actual commercial companies, just don't want to bother with going to, it will allow the park or the unit to go after the 1 to 2 person little YouTubers or whatever that are just enjoying their day, trying to show the world the beauty of what they see. Now, my final thoughts on this, I have them wrote down in front of me and everything, so I'm going to read them off and see if any of it makes sense to you. Because there's people out there that's definitely a lot smarter than I am that probably looks at it a different way, but this might help add some firewood to the fire. Now, me personally, I kind of agree with the whole permit thing, because I feel that the national parks should know who's on their properties, or excuse me, who's on our properties, because it's supposed to be our national. But I mean, I kind of agree with them, because at that point they should know who's there, what they're doing at all times, especially if they're going away from trails and obvious places. So with that, if the NPS saw a video on whatever platform that they didn't think, or they didn't feel that it aligned with their core values and what the NPS was actually created for, then it could deal with that particular video. Just saying. Because there are some people that make stupid videos. We all know somebody that's made a stupid freaking video and has posted it out there doing stupid stuff. You don't want to do that. Showing the beauty, to me, that's awesome. Showing that you can tightrope walk on top of a little tiny rock at the top of the friggin' Grand Canyon, no. Mm-mm. They've already found a couple YouTube creators already. And me personally, I would just love to see the size of the lines that go into the courthouse, like into a courthouse, because the NPS probably just opened up Pandora's box with all this. Because if they find one or two YouTubers, now unless they did something illegal, I have not personally seen the video, and I do believe it's most likely been taken down. But unless they did something illegal, and if they did, yes, they should have their video taken down. They should be fined. They should be whatever the court needs to do. But if they find one or two YouTubers and that's it, then they would have to find, I'm just throwing numbers here, all 65 million YouTubers, millions of TikTokers, TikToks, whatever you want to call them, Instagram people, Facebook people, and everyone else that's ever posted a video clip from any of the units of the NPS. Or they would need to explain to a court and why did they go after a very select few YouTubers, TikToks, whatever, when there are literally millions upon millions of videos out there. They need to clarify their questions and answers, for one. As far as the commercialization of social media videos and finding the people that make, edit, post videos of their experiences at the units of the NPS, they need to be more appreciative. We, the people, who put in our own time, our own money, we pay to go to these places, just like everybody else does. We take a lot of pride to make our videos look good, which in turn shows other people what they can see, what they would see, and what they can experience, and it makes it easier for others to plan their visits to these units of the NPS. And if they're going after us, would the NPS request an international extradition of the people from foreign countries that came here, visited our national parks, our national units, whatever, and they posted them on their social media sites because they technically broke a United States federal law? Or is it only a law that's going to be enforced on the American people? The same people that fought for this country, a lot of people died for the country, but their families are still around. Or are they just going to enforce those laws on the American people? If they don't conduct international extraditions for breaking a U.S. federal law, then the only videos of our national parks are going to be on foreign videos. I don't know any way of putting that. National park system are wanting to find the very people who for years have been giving them high quality advertisements and have asked nothing in return for them. And now, within a week or two, the same people that love making the videos and going to our national parks are worrying about getting $1,000 fines and even prison time. Yes, 3 to 5 years. I've already contacted my United States representative here in South Jersey, Jeff Andrew, and I've asked them for help on this. Everyone needs to contact their state's representatives and send them an email. We should be able to record on our own national parks, our own national units, whatever you want to call them, unless there's a very specific reason. Like they're doing something wrong there and they don't want us to get it out for the whole world to see and not be in fear of the NPS. Because the same people that made all the wonderful videos that caused people to want to go and visit the units of the NPS from all over the world too, could just as well make other videos and call them top 10 reasons to go to the mall or go to the bathroom instead of going to the National Park System's units. And for all the people that think it's just a big national parks that brings in tens of thousands of people every month, oh god, yeah. Here, I'll leave you with a list of what units are. The list of them. I even left the actual national parks at the end of the list. So when you start seeing them, you'll know you're getting to the end of it. So until next video, I hope y'all are staying safe out there. If you have any comments, throw them down below. And until next one, y'all be safe.